What's left? Glad I found this place. Misery loves company, I guess. My wife told me back in April that she was unhappy. She said she was confused and that she didn't know much more than that. So, I spent the time since then trying to be a much better husband than I was prior. Last Wednesday she told me that she thinks I'm the reason she's unhappy. She said she's built up a bunch of resentment towards me over the years. She said she loves me but doesn't feel any romantic love anymore. I threw up upon hearing this. She recently lost over 100 pounds. She got a tummy tuck, which I paid for. She looks awesome now and I've told her how proud I am of her and how beautiful she looks. She was staying home with the kids and I work at home but make enough to support our family of 4 kids without her working. I got the feeling that she needed more social integration though. So, this year she's going back to work. My issue is I was a workaholic. I work online and run several of my own websites. I would spend excessive amounts of time doing this. I was so worried about making enough money for us to live comfortably for the rest of our lives that I put her and the kids second. I am an idiot and never should have done. She said that with her weight loss, she started gaining more and more self-esteem. Rightly so. She said that she will no longer accept things in her life that she would when she was fat and didn't have as high self-esteem. She then started going over times when she'd take the kids out and I wouldn't go because I had to work. Our life doesn't exist for the past 7 months. Since she started doing her rapid weight loss program. She lost the weight over a bit longer than a year total though. Anyhow, I suggested that yes, I was a workaholic. I grew up very poor in a single-parent household. My father deserted us when I was 9 years old. I thought that being a provider and making sure money was never an issue was the primary role of the father. I've never had a dad in my life to tell me different. I did help with the kids, I'd put them to bed, I'd take them out once in a while, but she did most of it. I thought she was okay with this. I personally wasn't all that happy being a workaholic. She started avoiding me and after her 2-a-day workout, she'd then take off at night for coffee with her friends. She'd come home and go right to bed. Again avoiding me. She went out twice with some single friends and came home at 4 a.m. drunk as a skunk. She hadn't done that in years. We've been married 12 years and she rarely drank anything. I am not sure and I have asked her if there's someone else. But she says no there isn't. Anyhow, I told her I will change as I wasn't happy with myself either. But she says she doesn't believe it and that I can't change just for her. She said she doesn't want a roommate, and neither do I. I suggested we go to counseling to get a professional to help us work through this since she still does love me. Just not romantically because of all the build-up resentment she's got for me at the moment. She said I was an excellent provider, poor husband and lazy father. That crushed me. I have never felt so low in my life. I go through wild mood swings from tears to depression and anger with myself for doing this to her. I can't work, I can't sleep, I can't concentrate on anything but her. She's got the kids at her parents' right now for a couple days and I fear that she's going to come home and ask for a divorce. I don't want that ever. I love her too much and I do not want the kids to go through what I did as a child. I have accepted that I am partly to blame for this and am going to counseling with or without her for my first session next week. I suggested that she may be in the midst of a midlife crisis too. She didn't like that. I then thought her rapid weight loss has done something to change all the chemicals and hormones in her body. She didn't like that. I truly feel she is in her midlife crisis though. I accept I'm not perfect and should never have been a workaholic and I am changing that going forward. My goal is to make her the #1 priority in my life and the kids. Work can happen during whatever time is left. Oh, and one last thing. We've lived together, worked together, gone to university together and now have been home together for 17 years total. 12 married. So, I really think we just need some time apart more to help with our relationship. She's always had a hard time accepting that when I'm at home working, I have to work. I can't just drop it and go out during the day whenever I please. I have done that though, so maybe I gave her that perception by accident. Anyhow, is there any hope left? Am I on the path to becoming a divorced dad? I want her back 100% and am willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. I love her so much. This is the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life. As for me, I used to be very fit, but I overtrained and lost interest. I couldn't get any bigger, didn't want to use steroids ever and couldn't get back into it. When my wife got pregnant, I gained weight right with her like a good husband. Now I'm not in shape and it really bothers me. I play sports still, basketball, baseball, golf and volleyball. But I've noticed that my speed is nowhere near what it used to be. I want that back and as part of my changes I'm getting my old body back with or without her. I figure, hell if she doesn't want me like this and I'm not happy like this, then how in the hell would a new lady even be interested? So, time to fix that too regardless. So, my keg is going to go back to a 6-pack again. So last night I spent a couple hours at the hospital. I had my first series of panic attacks ever. That was great. The doctor felt bad for me but just did an ECG to make sure my heart was okay and then gave me some pills to help if the next panic attack happens. Anyhow, I firmly believe there is another guy. I even think I know who it is. He recently separated from his wife and the timelines are matching up perfectly. He's a trainer and I want to ask my wife if she's cool with me taking him out for a coffee and asking him about training and how he's handling his separation. Is that a good idea? My plan is to be super nice to him and then ask outright if I get the feeling he's not being honest. My plan is also to see what my wife even says about that idea. I figure if she hesitates or doesn't want me to, then I've got a pretty good idea of what's really happening. I'm still going through wild mood swings and I'm still all alone in this big house. My buddy and I are going to a movie tonight, but I can't get my mind off this for the past 4 days. I have asked her time and time again about an affair. I even stated I knew who I thought it was and she was adamant that there's nobody else. She insists it's all the mistakes I made watching our kids in the past and not caring enough for her in the past. She gave about 4 real examples that I just felt horrible about. I apologized and told her that the next time those things happen, the result will be 100% different. She's got a big wall up, but she's still here and I'm trying to break it down as much as I can. I spoke to one of her closest girlfriends 2 nights ago and we had a good 45-minute chat. Her girlfriend told me to not give up and keep fighting for her. That was my plan this whole time anyway. I've lost 24 pounds since this happened now. Ran 3 times, been to the gym to lift weights 3 times, and have been on a diet too. I'm committed to losing weight and getting my old body back again. I also snore really bad and have sleep apnea. So I'm going to go to the sleep disorder clinic and see if I can get a fix while I'm losing weight and getting healthy again. But she is also now at the point where she'll go to counseling. I told her that counseling is not just a quick fix to say everything's fine and we're back together. But we need to go so that regardless of what happens, I can be friends with her after this is over. 2 weeks later, just an update, she has found a house and is moving out, and not holding up. Life sucks. She will not let go of the past. I've totally changed everything about me that was wrong. I wasn't happy with myself either. I'm down 34 pounds since this started, working on myself and was trying to make up for all the times I wasn't being a good husband. I'm not allowed to touch her now if I compliment her. She says it makes her feel awkward. She says she needs her own time and space so she can have some clarity. I suggested she stay here and we take turns giving her some space. She goes away, then comes back and I go away. But that's not good enough. I just went to the house she rented and it's fine, but I hate it. Last night I had to ask her if she got the house or not. I have to pull teeth. She doesn't believe any of the changes I have made will last. She doubts me, doesn't believe in me, and just doesn't really give a crap anymore. I'm starting to have some feelings that I don't like either about her or that scares me. The feelings I'm started to have more and more now. Why would I even want this person anymore? I told her that I thought an alien abducted her one night, removed her brain and returned her body but not her soul. She didn't like that. I'm starting to feel like I'm not attracted to her as she is right now at all. I mean, I love her physically, but the emotional side is taking a kicking and I think my self-preservation mode is kicking in. I don't like the selfish person she has become at all. Maybe I should just accept it and let her go. Then it scares me because what if she ever wants to come back and I don't want her back anymore? She's cut some deep wounds emotionally into me. A month later, just an update. I'm down 45 pounds in 1 month now. It's not from not eating though. I eat 5 times a day. It's from dieting, running and lifting weights. My goal is to drop 100 pounds just like she did, but I'm doing it alone. Not with any trainer. Physically, I feel the best I have in a decade or more. Mentally, I'm getting there too. I had my first counseling session this week and my counselor is great. He's got tons of experience and we're working on things. He said to not worry about things I cannot control and to pretty much do that 180 things that everyone talks about. He just called it switching from pursuer to distancer. I agree and have been doing so. Now when she's out, I don't ask any questions. I'm friendly, but not a big puddle of tears like I used to be. I feel like my body is moving on and it's dragging my mind with it. She moves out today and it's her first night staying at her house. She has the kids tonight and tomorrow night I get them. We're still working on a schedule for custody. Last night was the first official night of our separation. I think I'm giving up now and just moving on alone. 2 months later. I haven't been here in a while, but I think I'm finally at the point where I'm moving on. I am tired of caring and shaking my head in disgust. I've learned so much about me and about who I thought was my spouse. Turns out I didn't know much before. I think I'm getting over it now but have some relapses every 4 days or so. My goal is to do the no contact for as long as I can. I'm tired of putting myself through this bull crap. Anyhow, I'm proud to say I'm now down 90 pounds and have been working out pretty hard too. I can almost see my abs at this point. It used to be an extra large keg down there. I feel like there's so many other fish in the sea now and have yet to even drop my line in, so to speak. Half a year later, August 1st, she left. Got a place on her own. Then January 1st, she moved and her boyfriend to live with her. I have accepted that we'll never be together, have moved on and have a wonderful girlfriend of my own who I care about very deeply now. Anyhow, today my soon-to-be ex texts me like crazy saying she wants to come home, has asked her boyfriend to get out and just wants her old life back with me. When she left as a walk-away wife. She was having an affair with the very guy she is now kicking out. She seems so lost and I cannot trust her anymore. We have kids together, but that's not a good enough reason to reconcile in my mind. Plus, I can't really forgive her for what she's done in cheating on me. Plus, I really like my girlfriend. She's an upgrade in every way. I told her she needs to get the duck away from me. The only thing that would even make me consider getting back with her is my kids. I love them, but I have to be happy too. I grew up in a divorced household and know what it's like. I love the kids, but if it weren't for them, I would probably never speak to my ex ever again. Soon to be ex, that is. I don't have feelings for the ex, but she's pulling out the "we should try for the kids" line. Guilting me into anything is kind of dumb. My girlfriend is way better. I just wanted to see if anyone else was going through this. I told her I wanted this before. She didn't. She gave up, ran away, broke my heart, and refused to even consider giving me any chance. Now that things are done with her stupid boyfriend, she wants to come back. How can I trust her again? I can't. The love is gone and I'm not sure I want to even entertain getting hurt by her again. Which I think I would if I ever got back with her. She didn't like that but is really kissing ass at this point. I am angry but getting better. Now I'm angrier at her stupidity than anything else. She destroyed a family with her actions. I played a part, of course, but I took ownership of all my issues and fixed them. She ran like a coward right to another man. She is now apologizing and she kicked him out literally today. She moves really quick and acts on emotion always. It's one extreme or another with her. Never anything in between or working on things. Black or white rules with her. It's sad. Forgiving would be tough at this point. Maybe if she had just been honest the whole time it would be different. But yeah. I don't tolerate lies very well. This puts me in crappy position though, because now the girlfriend might start getting worried, without merit, about me ever going back to the cheater. It almost seems that the soon-to-be ex saw I was happy, so she decided to try to control my new relationship or put strain on it on purpose. I have 4 kids with her and have spent over half my life with her. That's why it hurt so much when she walked away. She still insists she did not cheat on me, but come on, people have told me she did, and who moves a guy in that fast? Not to mention kick him out a month later. It was the very guy I assumed she was having the affair with from before she ever left. She has not taken any ownership of anything and I can't stand the lies from her. She's very broken right now and she really needs to work on herself, then focus on her kids. She just wants her bank machine, me, back. I think she finally realized how good she had it. She didn't work for 3 years straight and I had to hire cleaners to come in once a week to make sure this place wasn't dirty. Not saying that's a woman's job, just saying she could have chipped in to keep it tidy. I had the gut feeling of goodness from the get-go with the GF. She's adjusting to me and my ex and my 4 kids like a champ. I do see a long-term thing with her for sure. When I think of kissing my ex, I get disgusted. All I can picture is him kissing her or having relations with her. It makes me sick. I'm not sure I could ever get over that mental image. That's the other thing. My STB ex has never put any effort into our relationship. Now she's already pulled try for the kids card and she's sounding kind of pathetic in her pity party. That's not attractive at all and reeks of desperation. I believe I'm making the right choice in going with my GF, but it's nice to talk it through with others too, besides my family who have biased opinions. I also still have a good relationship with my in-laws, but I'm sure they're going to try to put pressure on me to take her back. That's going to strain things. Oh well, another new thing to deal with. Don't get me wrong, when she left, I tried hard to get her back. I changed everything about myself. I stopped being lazy, stopped being a jerk, stopped being a workaholic, stopped putting money before my family. I dropped over 100 pounds and am now in the best shape of my life mentally and physically. History is one thing, but our marriage sucked for a long time before she did this. My dad cheated on my mom and they split when I was 11 years old. I remember my STBXW saying that our split will not affect the kids if we're friends. That annoyed me. Split-ups do affect everyone, especially kids. She did not even cry when she gave me the "I love you but I'm not in love with you" crap. It's more like, I'm sleeping with my trainer and I think the grass is greener over there. I'm not insensitive, but fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not going to let her have the chance to fool me twice. The day she breaks up with her BF, she's wanting to come back. Yikes. So, what if she came back? Would she jump ship just as easily, if not easier, than last time she did it? That would always be on my mind too. I tried my best to fix the broken thing. It was like talking to a wall. I was the opposite of no contact. I got zero response and probably made it worse. I hit rock bottom when she left. I was literally in the hospital thinking I was about to have a heart attack. I don't go there unless I'm very concerned. They ran an EKG on my heart and it was physically fine, but emotionally I was a mess. I could barely tell the doctor what was wrong. I still have flashbacks of that night and how scared I was. I'm not a wuss or anything, but having your life ripped out from under you is scary stuff. She had taken the kids and went to her parents', which is 8 hours away. I didn't know if I'd see her or my kids again. It was awful. She, on the other hand, was never alone for all this. She had her BF coaching her and supporting her. I know some of the decisions made were all him and not her. I'm disappointed in her and not sure I'm ready to even consider getting over myself. Back then, I worked at home and we had no boundaries. My office has no doors and is right on the main floor of the home. She thought that because I was on the computer, that meant I was available. Kids came in all day long. She wanted me to do things during the day and I never stopped it. I started staying up after the kids went to bed until 2 a.m. to get work done in peace. Only problem then was I was too tired to get up in the morning with the kids, so she would let me sleep until 10 a.m. or so. That's me being lazy, but I had a reason, I thought. I felt like I dismissed her thoughts and feelings too quickly too. When she went to lose weight, I didn't think it was a good idea because I had seen her do it a million times before and her trainer, now ex-boyfriend, wanted like $1,000 for a 3-month program. I thought he was a scammer and had a bad feeling about him, so I didn't really agree. I paid half and her parents paid the other half. That was jerky. She would always bug me at work and I asked her if I could take the 4 kids to her job and put them outside her door for a day. Then I could tell the kids to play amongst themselves, but if they needed mommy, she was right there. She didn't like that, but it's the same thing as my work. I just put money ahead of everything. I thought that once money was not an issue, everything else would fall into place. I've since learned money does not matter. Love, family, and friends do. I do feel now that if she left so easily the first time, then kicked her BF to the curb so easily, how easy would it be for her to walk away from me again and crush me? I'm not going to give her that chance. It's not worth it to me. New turn of events. This just confirms my gut feelings of not taking her back. 2 days after texting me about wanting to come back, the kids stayed with her. In the morning she dropped them off so I could take them to school. I do every school day drop off and pick up. That's another issue. Anyhow, I asked my kids if they were okay. The oldest asked why I would ask her that. I said, did mommy talk to you guys at all about what happened? She said yes. Mommy said she asked him to move out but they're still together. Mommy said she's just not ready to live with him. I was sadly not shocked. She's a crazy one, the STBXW. I bet they got into a big fight and either he left or she kicked him out. I have my theories. 1. He got caught cheating on her. He's a jerk and would totally do that. 2. He realized she was nuts and left. 3. She got caught cheating on him and he left. I'll never know the truth, nor do I really care what the truth is. Her actions just confirm my initial gut reaction and reinforce that I'm making the right decision. I asked the STBXW if she could watch the kids on Valentine's Day as it's my day, but was asking for a favor. She said yes immediately, then 5 minutes later texts me back saying, oh no, I can't. He has a surprise for me that day. Oh really? So, some jerk that you just kicked out is taking priority over seeing your kids. She's so stupid and annoying. I can't stand her. I really think she's crazy, and that worries me a bit with the divorce and settlement pending. I know he was coaching her on how to separate from me the wrong way. I know his STBXW hates him and they fight all the time, so he's been telling my STBXW what to do according to his ridiculous point of view. I did tell my STBXW that I felt she could do better than him and should go sow her wild oats a bit. She didn't want to though. I then said maybe she should be alone for a while to figure out what makes her happy. She's gone through everything in her life that she thought might be making her unhappy, and nothing has been the answer she's looking for. I haven't had the I'm sorry but no. I'm not going to take a chance on someone who betrayed me. I'll risk getting hurt with this new wonderful woman who has done nothing but put a smile on my face daily instead. Conversation, but I will the next time she wants to come back. I'm very happy to have ended up where I am now, considering where I was at when this all first went down. I do feel that I did suck though. I felt horrible for what I did and she was playing the victim card hardcore on me. I actually believed it was all my fault at the time. I now know it was partially my fault and partially hers. She has never accepted her role in this or taken any ownership of anything to do with our split up. I think the advice on not bringing her up to my GF is excellent advice. I'm going to do that. I've found myself spending way too much time and energy arguing with my STBXW. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to put that time and energy into my girlfriend instead, who I'm very thankful for and really do like a lot. I hope I don't get burned on this relationship, but I'm taking everything I learned from all my past mistakes and trying to correct them with the new relationship. I'm not 100% there yet. Just the other day I was dragging my feet on something and found that is exactly what I did before too. Even if I don't want to do something or don't feel like it, it's more than just me involved, and sometimes you have to do things you don't feel like to keep the other person happy. It's a give and take, and I think I took too much in the past. I did have the it's over talk with the STBXW. I was short and brief. I just told her that we will never be together again because that is not a possibility anymore. I told her she did the one thing I cannot forgive: cheating on me. Today she tried to start a fight with me over the kids, but I wouldn't take the bait. Even threw a couple really low blows at me about not wanting to spend time with my kids. Complete bull crap. But whatever, I have them more than her and I think that really bothers her. But she called me my dad's name in a text. My dad abandoned me when I was 11 when he split from my mom. He didn't even say goodbye or anything, just left. I saw him about 4 or 5 times over the years until he passed away when I was 29. I never got any closure with him and he was a bad dad. Very low blow by her. I think she's very messed up and now I'm trying to get over my hatred of the OM who was there the whole time assisting her in breaking up our marriage. He lives there again and I cannot stand the guy. I have zero respect for any man, I use that term loosely, who would pursue a known married woman. I cannot stand him and my plan is to go completely silent if and when I ever come into contact with him. I will look him in the eye and not say a word. I think silence is sometimes best. But I'm a little worried that my anger towards him will result in physical thing at him. I really want to X his face open, just because I think he's a bum. But I think time will heal that. I also know that they won't be together much longer as she's already kicked him out after living together for 30 days. Then moving him back in 14 days after that. I think I'll be much better with her new BF when and if she gets one and this OM is out of the picture for good. I think it's just the male pride side of me coming out. I really don't care about her anymore, but he just irks me. Oh well, that's life and just another thing to deal with. I'll make sure I keep my distance. But now I refuse to go to her door to pick up or drop off the kids. I can't risk seeing that guy in person. It would anger me too much. She now says, I wish I never told you that I wanted to come back. What a nut job. I know she still wants to, but she's hurt because I rejected her. I told her that the marriage failing was both of our faults, not just mine, and she has not owned up to anything as far as that goes. I said that we both failed, but the difference is I tried hard to get you back. I changed and proved I was serious about making our marriage work. She didn't. I told her I can sleep at night because I gave it my best shot and that's all I could do. Any attempt I made or action I took was met with a stone wall or no response or I was told to move on. She was an emotionless robot through this whole thing until she wanted to come back. Then she got very emotional. She has shown zero remorse and apologized, but I don't think she meant it at all. She needs help and I'm starting to worry about my kids when they're with her. I don't like them being around the OM and my one kid has said she always fights with the OM's kid. There are 6 kids in that house and merging 2 families like that has got to be tough. My STBXW always made me be the bad guy in disciplining the kids. I think now her and her BF take the best buddy route in child raising, so it's anything goes over there with the kids. That is annoying, but I can't control that, so I guess I don't worry about it. I think she really expected me to drop everything and welcome her back with open arms. I am starting to just feel sorry for her, but only because she's never going to be happy and has to live with running away from a family and life that she really did like, even if she says she was not happy. I think she was not happy with herself but blamed everyone but herself for that. I went through a divorce when I was 11. I was a straight student up until then. Once they got divorced, I took the opinion that there were more important things than school, and school didn't really matter since my parents were divorced and my life sucked. I am getting them counseling. One thing that really annoyed me was when my STBXW said this won't affect the kids as long as we're still friends. With the duck, it does affect the kids. I know that, and she even went so far as to say, your experience doesn't count. Complete nutjob. I have said to the kids that nobody will ever replace their mother and that nobody will ever replace me as their daddy. You get one mom and one dad. We will never divorce you. I said that anyone who comes into my life or their mothers is not a replacement. It's a tough situation, but I'm trying to keep it open and honest with them, as that was not done with me when I was a kid. If she had said, I want to try for us to be happy again or for me to have my wife back, and it would have been better than for the kids. I did take it as if I'm still not worth it in her opinion and she just wanted her bank machine back in her old life. I'm at that stage where I think I want to forgive everything, but that doesn't mean forgive and take her back to me. You're right in that it's forgiving her for my own well-being. I have to put it behind me and move on, and my hatred of this OM is strong right now, but I think it will go away over time. I'm not at the forgiveness stage yet with her though. I do think I'm over her and have been working on myself physically and mentally big time in the past 6 months. I've lost 100 pounds. I'm in the best physical shape of my life and am way more open with my feelings with people. My biggest concern is my kids right now and making sure they get through this situation without permanent scars. Last night my oldest daughter said she wakes up at night sometimes and forgets which house she's in because she said she's being bounced around so much. That concerns me. I want to do a more stable arrangement with custody where it's a week here, week there, but my STBXW can't do that. I handle the kid duties every school day, lunches, drop-offs, pickups, and she work at a regular job. I'm doing this because I want her more than anything, but at the same time, I'm a bit annoyed that she feels she has them more than me. It's the crazy fog she lives in, but man, it's hard to deal with her sometimes. A month later, I met the other man, soon-to-be ex-wife. I wanted closure on my failed marriage so I can move on without any hint of did I do the right thing. I was cheated on and was fed a ton of lies. I wanted to meet with his wife to basically compare notes and make sure I wasn't crazy and what I thought I knew the truth to be. Anybody else done this? She was awesome and I am glad I did. We chatted for over an hour and it was so bizarre that virtually everything she said and felt were the same things I felt and thought. I learned some things I didn't know and she filled in some gaps I had too. It was a very interesting meeting for sure. The timelines and everything else match up perfectly. It was like therapy but actually useful for once. And the last bit about closure. Why am I letting someone else control my closure? For months I've been bent on getting my STBX to admit what she's done. Maybe I was doing that because I knew she would never admit it and then I could go on without taking full charge of my life again. I feel like I've taken control of everything else, except that one thing. And it's not healthy to be relying on someone else for your happiness. In reality, she never will, and now I'm starting to accept that I don't need her to admit anything. What's done is done. Her admitting it is not going to change anything. I'm done with trying to control her. I'm going to close this chapter of my life internally and not rely on her to do it for me. Feels good. My comment: did you guys feel good listening to this story? Was the ending what you expected? Or you expected another doormat? Well, I try to provide different stories here. Some strong ones, some weak ones. Tell me which kinds you like more down below. Sub and bell and let's keep moving forward.